This was a very hard day for me. There was a lot involved. Not so much with work, but more with me soul searching. So I started out the day by driving the dump truck up to the top of the hill and delivering 2 loads of rock to Carl. He's been needing a little bit of rock, and he's just a really awesome dude. Pleasure I could meet him. From there, I started on my adventure of trying to generate some income. For those that don't know, I left town with $430 in my pocket, and just was trying to prove that it could be done, that we just need to come out here and put hands on more than anything. And I hit town with absolutely $0 in my pocket. But I wanted to try and work as long as I could. I had food and I had enough gas to be able to get around a little bit, and I knew I could contribute some, and I wanted to try and contribute all I could. I originally planned to come out here for 3 days no matter what. I wanted to try and push it for 2 to 3 weeks, and I had made it 16 days or 17 days without being able to work, and just donated every bit of those 17 days to donating time and not charging a single solitary penny. But I knew I had bills back home, and I knew that I had to have gas to get home. So logically speaking, I needed to start figuring out a way to generate revenue. So I'd posted online that I was looking for work, and I had a couple jobs lined up to go look at and possibly start. And as I was getting ready to leave camp, the camp leaders came to me and said, "Hey, we really don't want you to leave, and we want to try and keep you around here. What do you need to pay your bills?" And in which case that put me in a really hard spot, because I don't want to ask anybody for anything, and the way I perceive it, anything I take is going to be taken from camp, and I'm not okay with that. And it was a really hard situation I was put in, because I didn't come out here to do that. I came out here to try and donate time, and then I wanted to work my way back home, and I wanted to try and pull my own weight and not be a burden to anybody, because there's people out here suffering and stuff, and I don't need to make things any worse. I'm not trying to be about that or anything, but they really stood on me and pushed on me and said, you're doing a lot out here, and we need you, and we want you to be here and be part of camp, and that you're efficient here, and that you're a good contribution to camp, and we want to do what we can to keep you here. So I let them know what my bills were and my reluctance to take money, and I went out to go look for jobs. And the first job I got to, it was a buddy that I met out here, and he was just a great guy, and he's such a lovable, great guy, and just always trying to help. And he was just, I put it out there that I was looking for work, and I know he didn't really have it. I showed up, and I kind of figured out that he was just trying to help a brother out, and that it really wasn't necessary for me to be there. And so I couldn't drain out of his pocket and be a burden to him either. So I let him know that I was going to try to do something else and go to the next job, just because I didn't want to be a burden to him and try and drain out of his pocket when he didn't need me for any work, but he was just trying to keep me busy, like the good-hearted guy he is. So I respectfully told him that I was going to go continue on and continue to go check out the next job. And so from there, I headed to the next job for a lady who had reached out to me on Facebook and said that she needed some work, and she even had a place for me to park my RV. And I didn't want to let her down, but at the same time I knew that camp was really wanting me to come back, and so I was conflicted with myself on whether or not to go back to camp or to continue working. And this is where the big dilemma in me came, because it was a matter of me getting over my pride. My pride, I guess, did not ever want me to try and take anything from anybody else, or to not contribute or pull my weight. And so I didn't want to take away from anyone, but at the same time, I know that they needed me, and I was being a good contribution to the camp, and that they needed me there, and everything I could do was a big help. So I was stuck between trying to help and trying to get over my pride, and it still is a real hard spot where I find myself, and I'll get more to that in a minute. But at the time, I was choosing between her job and coming back to camp, and so I kind of went out there just to keep my obligation and my moral word, because I said, I would check it out. So I definitely was going to keep my end of the deal, and I went out there, and the job site was different from the camper spot, and that's where I was at, was the camper spot. And I gave her a call and just kind of did a run through, and I let her know that I was probably going to try and go back to camp, and I really appreciate the offer, but I was going to try to do as much as I could to those a little bit more necessity. She was needing some siding and some roofing done on her barn, but I'm a big guy and big trees fall hard, and I did not want to get up. I don't do roofs, I don't do heights, so unfortunately I couldn't help her out with her more pressing things. But there was other work there I could have done. I just respectfully said I would probably come back to camp and let her know that I might not be able to do it. And so from there, I did come back to camp. And when I got back to camp, they had generated $750 for me, and that was what I was needed to pay my bills. And I think I'm going to stretch it and make it also be my gas money home. So I'm going to make it all work. And it was just really hard for me. It was a very emotional moment that they cared enough and were compassionate enough to come together. And it even brought me a tear to the eye, man. It was really a beautiful moment that they just came together and did it. And I think it was somebody from camp that took out of their pocket that had the ability to do it. And it's just the people coming together and doing this is just the most beautiful thing ever. It's just everybody coming together and doing everything we can to make it work. And I just keep repeating that we're all like puzzle pieces, and we just find our piece for the day and just find our spot for the day. And we all give what we can. And my ability is to give my time and work hard, and I have tools and stuff, and a truck, and just abilities to drive, and that's what I have to give. And other people have other things, and some kind soul out there contributed money to help keep me here, and I can't thank them enough. I don't know who it was because they wouldn't tell me. I'm speaking this from the future because I wasn't able to do videos for about a week because I was so busy working. I just didn't have time to mess with the videos. I was just putting my head down and going to work. So it was a week before I could actually get to this video. So I'm actually speaking this from the future. And so since then, we have recently been struggling with funds and trying to get some funds here at the camp, and just to keep it going. I know we just spent $25,000 in gravel in a matter of a couple days, and we also just spend a lot on everything. I think some generous person has been donating a lot of gas and gravel. There's just a lot, and so my conscience would not let me be able to take any money out of this camp. So I called home, and I had a friend that's just a real good friend and helps me out sometimes when I need it, and I had them loan me the money to be able to help out and get me home. So I was able to give the camp back the entire $750 that they gave me for my bills. And then I was able to give them an extra $100 that they had given me for gas before. And then I was able to give them an extra $100 on top of that, just out of my pocket, donating to try and help out. So I definitely was able to pay them back and pull my weight. And so I couldn't morally take away from this camp. It was really eating at me the whole time I did it. It was like this huge weight on my shoulders that I felt so guilty and so bad. And so I had to pay them back. And fortunately, I had a good friend that I can't thank enough for helping me out and just being so caring and compassionate and helping me make it right. I can't thank them enough. I know I'll be able to go home and work, and with my own two hands, just work real hard and pay it all back. It's just a matter of working in a little bit of time. So I know I'm good for it. So Yeah, that definitely was a huge stress relief off my back. I felt so guilty taking that money that it was really kind of stressing me out and making me feel bad. So it felt really good to be able to pay them back and to be able to recontribute back to the camp and just make everything right. So I can't tell everyone out there how much I appreciate all the help, and for everybody keeping up, and for all the volunteers and everybody in the camp. At this point, we've all become kind of like family. We've been in the trenches together, so to speak, and really have seen some stuff, and we've become a lot like brethren. And I just have a lot of love for everybody here, and their care and compassion is just so intense and so immense. It's just a really beautiful thing, and I can't tell everyone how much I appreciate them for helping me stay here a little bit longer, and how much I appreciate everyone's hard work, everybody here at camp, and everyone volunteering. You guys are just amazing people, and I appreciate everybody. It's a silver lining to a really dark cloud, but it's a beautiful thing at the end of it all. And I feel privileged to have met everyone and been a part of this, and it's just a great thing. But that was my journey for the day. So I appreciate everybody keeping up and following along. Feel free to like and subscribe and follow along with my journeys. Thanks, everyone. So I first started making this video a week after the time that really happened. So I'm telling my story from a week ahead of time. I started this video then, and it's taken me 3 days to try and finish. So overall, it was 10 days ago that this day actually happened. So I'm like I said, I was super busy working and didn't have time to make videos for 10 days. So I'm just now making them up right now and telling everything that happened. Right now, I was just publishing the video, getting ready to publish it, and one of the guys that was working here came up and gave me some money, and gave me $500 so I could get home, and it covered my trip and more. And I cannot tell him how much I appreciate it. He is such a solid dude, and it helped me so much. And I didn't want to take it, and I told him to give it to camp, but he said he helped camp too. And he was pretty firm with me that he wanted me to take it. He was pretty serious. Another gentleman that's been here that I just have a lot of respect for, and he's just a super awesome guy. Tried to give me money this morning, and I refused. I've been keeping refusing, but he was pretty stern with me and really wanted me to take it, so I took it. And he's just a great guy, and he worked so hard. I'm not gonna put it out there for him, but he's just I watched him work insanely hard, and put in so much time and effort and money, and did so much for this camp and this community. He did so much to help these people out here, and just dramatically help them on such an immense level. It's really unbelievable to watch, and I cannot thank him enough for all he did. And he made me take the money. I was like, no, give it to camp, and he was like, nope, I want you to have it. So I took it. So I can't tell him how much I appreciate him helping me out. It really means a lot, and it's really helped me a lot. And I really appreciate him. And like I said, it's a beautiful thing, man. We've all come here together, and we just all do what we can, and it's just a beautiful thing to witness. It's a lot, but it's a good thing. I just appreciate everybody, and I love y'all. And yeah, thanks guys. Thanks everybody. So I once again got busy and was not able to publish this video like I wanted. So it's been even more days now. I think it's been well over 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks since this happened, but I'm now sitting back in Missouri. I have been here 2 days now. I made it just in time for Thanksgiving. Right before I left, I had just once again another kind soul that was out here working hard and giving so much, and they hid money in my truck because I wouldn't take it. And so they broke into my truck because I left it unlocked, and they hid money in my truck, in my glove box, and then I didn't even know. And I was trying not to take any money, but they forced me to, and somebody else, some other kind soul, I don't even know who it was, dropped $50 in my cup holder. So between the 120 in my glove box and the 50 in my cup holder, I got another $170 to get home. And it's just, everybody was so kind to me, and I wasn't trying to take anything. I wasn't trying to do that. I was coming out to work and to contribute, but everybody's just so kind and just so wonderful. And it's just, I made a lot of good friends out there. I made a lot of amazing people who just are so giving and just put their hands on and open up their hearts and everything. And they're just amazing people. And it was just an honor to be able to meet and work with everyone.